All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look.
Welcome to Darren and Sterling here on ESPN Kansas City, 94.5 FM, 1510 AM. With you live in studio, along with the returning Mr. Sterling Holmes, of course, off of his 2-week vacation from his private island down in the great state of Florida, joining us with us back in studio. Sterling, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, although I'm a little cold. You know, it was 78, 82. I come back, it's like 25 this morning. It was brutal. I'm not used to this.
Well, you know, we are able to do the show on remote and stuff like that. So we could have Drake or someone run the board while we just call in. If you want to give us a call as we talk about that, you can do so at 913-491-8255. There are a few things, of course. We the last time we were on was the day before Thanksgiving. So, Sterling, what were you thankful for this holiday season?
Family. I mean, it's easy, but family, just being with everyone, just health. I mean, honestly, during this time of uncertainty, you're so thankful for your health, for your family, for you, for still having a job during all this, because a lot of people are, it sucks, but a lot of people are out of jobs. So I'm thankful for everyone here at 810, for you, for my family, and for being here.
It's funny you say that because you talk about a job. Generally, I am someone who does not, I guess, feel good about someone losing their job. But with the exception of the recipient at 1600 Pennsylvania, I believe it was Friday, Matt Patricia losing his job with the Detroit Lions made me feel good in my heart and in my spirit. So those are the two firings that I'm most thankful for.
Matt Patricia, I'm surprised he had a job as long as he did. And by the way, we'll get into it probably later on this week, not today, as far as Airbnb and fits, but he's going to have a lot of opportunities. And then after the way that Anthony Lynn coached the Chargers yesterday, he may be in the AFC West, because that was an absolutely brutal performance by Anthony Lynn and those Chargers.
I would be honest. Look, it's kind of like the whole Nick Saban rule where, he doesn't mind his assistant coach getting a job. You pretty much would prefer not to be in the SEC and don't take, his coaches with him. I could see a scenario where with the pick of the litter that he would have, I could see him going to Houston or somewhere versus Los Angeles, just out of respect for Andy Reid and knowing that you'd have to face. Look, it's one thing you got to face Patrick once, maybe every 3-4 years if you're Houston. It's another if you're facing him twice a year. Like, why would you want that L on your resume going against Andy Reid, knowing that Andy Reid could be like, I've taught you everything, but I teach you everything I know. So that being the case, but speaking about Andy Reid, I've got to tell you, Sterling, Sunday's game obviously was America's Game of the Week, on CBS on yesterday, and of course it featured two teams that I said that I feel would be facing each other in the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. Of course, that is the Kansas City Chiefs as well as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. However, how the game started off and how it ended, you got two different emotions coming, from me as the game started. Obviously, Kansas City looked like they should have had a 28-0 lead before Tampa Bay smelled the end zone, but of course they end up winning by, I don't want to say the skin of their teeth or whatever, but they end up winning 27-24. I want to get your thoughts on the game before I dive into it, because I was real upset. I was real pissed because of how the game unfolded, because in my opinion, it never should have gotten as close as to what it was. And, you try to be professional being on these Zoom calls with the players and the coaches and stuff like that. But one thing I tell people, that what you see how I am on social media when I'm typing stuff like that, I bring that same energy when I'm on the Zoom calls, because not that I'm channeling fans or anything like that, but knowing that the success that the team has and that you want them to continue to achieve, the one thing you don't want to do is to see them get complacent or see them kind of revert back to 2018 season and before that. And some of that is what I saw in yesterday's game, starting with Andy Reid, and then we'll get to it. But I want to get your thoughts on yesterday's game first.
Let me preface what I'm about to say by saying the Chiefs are 10-1. I'm not going to write this scathing review on Kansas City and hate on them. Remember, they're 10-1, but there were things in this game that really stood out to me.
Yes.
A couple were early on, and people may throw this by the wayside because the Chiefs were rolling early on. Mahomes' Tyreek connection was literally historic, unbelievable, but there were two things that stood out to me. They punted on 4th and inches, and they kicked a field goal on 4th and inches on the goal line. Those two things stood out because you left points on the board. You have the best quarterback in the NFL, the best player in the NFL. You're telling me right here you don't trust him to get you a couple of inches. You trust him to go for 462 yards to the air, but when it comes to getting inches, you don't trust him.
But you also trust him on 3rd down to get that first down to end the game as well.
Exactly, and that's my whole point of it's a small thing. The Chiefs won, so it doesn't matter that much. But those 2 4th and inches, to me, you have the best offense in the NFL, and I give the offensive lines brutal, but it doesn't matter. If you trust Patrick Mahomes, trust him at all times of the game.
For me, and I've got to give a shout out to one of my friends, Katrina Elmore. She literally stated everything I said throughout the game and put it in a small little post on Facebook, and I've got to read it because she's just like me. She's mad at a lot of people. Mad at Andy Reid for playing conservative with the 17-point lead. With a 17-point lead, you play conservative. Now, again, you're 10-1. I get that. I get that, Chiefs fans. But just like I say about Harrison Butker missing kicks or whatever throughout the game, and yes, he's been much better the last 2, 3, 4 weeks. I give him that. But the thing is, you want to get that rectified, which is perhaps what he's done as we head into the playoffs. That's what you're supposed to do. But again, Andy Reid with this, were they a good team as well? Yeah, that's the whole point. They are a good team. You take a sledgehammer and you kill that gnat with it. That's what you do. You take a sledgehammer to it. You don't take a flat swatter. You take a sledgehammer. What I'm trying, the point that I try to get across people last night, and Nick Lauer and a few others, Ricky Sigler, they felt the same way I felt. Look, right now you're sitting in the number 2 seed. There's no guarantee that Pittsburgh is going to lose a game. Now, they will be the most under the radar 16-0 team in NFL history if that were to happen. If they don't, because they can conceivably not lose a game, especially with what's going on in Baltimore. They should be able to walk over Baltimore tomorrow.
And then you got in Cincinnati, they're playing third-string quarterbacks pretty much for their most.
But you can only play who's on your schedule.
Who's on your schedule.
Who's on
Give
your
them
schedule.
credit, yes.
And so to that point, you know that this is the team that you could potentially see in the Super Bowl. Of course, you face New Orleans on December 20th as well. You want to remove all doubt that what they did in the first quarter is not a quote unquote an aberration. 200+ yards from Tyreek Hill in the first quarter. In the first half, I think he had 3 touchdowns, or the touchdown that came in the second. I'm sorry, the third touchdown came in the third quarter. But if you're Andy Reid again, I said yesterday, you're playing too cute by half. I asked Patrick Mahomes. I know Patrick had a little, when I asked him, I know he had that look on his face because, again, they don't know what I'm asking. They're probably like, man, what was Darren going to come with now? And I had to look, man, y'all playing too cute. And I'm going to ask Egg Bieniemy, whether it's Thursday or Friday, whenever we talk to him, seriously, man, I understand the trickery from look, I understand in between the 20s, in between the hash marks. But when you're down on the goal line, 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, and you're on the 1-yard line, all that trickery, leave that for somebody. Look, if you want to do it when you up by 4 touchdowns. Don't do it the first opening drive of the game, because at the end of the day, you're 4th and 1. Just play smash my football.
Or, to me, what has seemingly never failed, and I don't get why they don't do it more often, those little shovel end arounds to Tyreek Hill. I mean, how often does that work? I've not seen him get hit behind the line of scrimmage and not at least get a yard on that play. Do you not trust Patrick? And I get it. I think everyone's nervous for the QB sneaks. I understand that. You're telling me you don't trust Patrick on a QB sneak to get you inches?
Well, the only reason why I know that they're not ever going to do that again is what happened in Denver.
But look, Tom Brady's been doing that for how many years? Cam Newton's been doing that for how many years?
Tom Brady's never dislocated a knee.
I get that.
So,
but my thing is, it is such a fluke by just completely going away from that. It sells out to the defense going, they don't even have to believe in that. It's not even on the table. You know how easy that is for defenses to say, you know what? We know they're not going to do a QB sneak.
Yeah.
You at least got to have the give him the at least a picture of that.
But see, here's the thing. If he gets hurt again, then everybody starts to question you. What I would say is that's why you got Le'Veon Bell. That's another thing I'm going to talk about in the well, maybe I'll bring it up now since you brought it up. I like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but he is not a bruising running back that can get you a first down on 3rd and 1, 2nd and 1, something like that. That's why you got Le'Veon Bell. That's why you got to put Le'Veon Bell in. You can, if you want to have Clyde in there 1st and 10, 2nd and 7, okay. But when you try to get that first down, you gotta have Le'Veon in there. I mean, he's been an All-Pro for a reason. Put him in there, give him the opportunity to get first down, because there were times yesterday, and again, I'm frustrated because of how the game unfolded, because again, it never should have been close. 27-24. Never should have been close. The defense came up with 2 picks. They didn't do anything with it.
No.
Frank Clark, I like Frank Clark personally, but like I tell people, I like these players. I try not to get too close with them, because when you got to criticize them, you got to be able to do credibly. Not once, but twice you hit Tom Brady upside the head. Now, if you didn't learn the first time, go ahead.
Well, to me, it's not even like, I know people are saying, oh, it's a week. No. If you hit him on the head, a quarterback, it's going to get called. If you're getting called for boneheaded penalties and you're not making any sort of impact in the stats, you're not getting any sacks, no tackle for loss, and you're getting these penalties and you're getting paid $20 million a year, you are going to get criticized.
No, I agree. And here's the thing. I asked them after the Raiders game, clean up those penalties. They had 10 penalties. They had 10 penalties yesterday. Personal fouls. Same thing that they had. They didn't have roughing the pack. They never got to Derek Carr last week in Vegas. But 2 personal fouls against Frank Clark. Then on top of it, and before that, you had 3 holding penalties in a row.
Yep.
I mean, and it just baffles me where it's like, you want to make it seem like it's okay because because they won. And it's like, no, you need to get stuff like that cleaned up so it doesn't affect you at a later date. The other thing that really, really, really pissed me off was the fact that you down there at goal line or in the red zone, not 1, not 2, not 3, Patrick throws the ball away 3 consecutive times. I don't know if you remember that.
They weren't. And see, the thing for me is I don't mind Patrick throwing the ball in that situation. I think don't get too cute. Let Travis Kelce do what Travis Kelce does.
Well, here's the thing. We don't even know what the play was, because all it was Patrick going back, throwing the ball away 3 straight times.
The offensive line was abysmal. And you and I talked about this going into the game. We said Ndamukong Suh was going to be a factor. And guess what?
I told you he wasn't too old.
You and me agreed on this one. Ndamukong Suh destroyed Austin Ryder. He destroyed Wiley. He destroyed, I believe it was Nick Allegretti playing left guard this game. The Chiefs' offensive line was a problem. The fact that Patrick did what he did with the consistent pressure in his face makes what he did even more impressive, because he had no time. He was running nonstop. The offensive line got no holes in the run game. I don't know why Daniel Kilgore all of a sudden got those 2 games. The O-line looks great. They take him out. The O-line reverts back to being bad. I don't know if you need to insert Daniel Kilgore in again. Rimmers had his first probably bad game at right tackle. That O-line was bad.
The defense giving up a touchdown on 4th and 3.
Oh.
And look, McCole Hardman dropped an easy touchdown pass. Now, people try to say Patrick look, I mean, he threw it on the money. If it touches your hands and you're wide open, there's nobody there. I don't know whether or not he thought he was going to – I don't know whether or not he had crocodile arms where he thought he gets it, turn around and get blasted or whatever, but he was wide open.
Yeah.
I mean, and the fact that you can't convert on that, because you convert on that, that's a 90-yard touchdown pass. And with that pass alone probably gets Patrick closer, if not close to breaking the NFL record for passing in the game.
He'd be like 530 or 520 yards. But one thing I do want to say, because it sounds like we're all angry and we're yelling, one thing I do want to say is, Anthony Hitchens played an extremely good game in multiple facets. Going up in coverage, I was like, is that Anthony Hitchens in coverage looking good? And then he had
his name called a couple of times too on the air.
He had 2 hits on Tom Brady.
Yep.
He had a massive tackle for loss, which ended up resulting in Tampa Bay kicking a field goal. I mean, he had 7 tackles. Anthony Hitchens looked really good, and if you guys haven't been paying attention the past few weeks, Hitchens has improved to where he almost was in Dallas. The reason why everyone was so excited, myself included, when he came to Kansas City from Dallas, when they signed him, I go, oh, he's going to fit in. He's going to be great. This is what he looked like in Dallas. This is the first glimpse of Anthony Hitchens looking like the old Hitchens and making all these plays. I'm loving it.
Again, I don't want to beat a dead horse. All I'm saying is that if you're a Chiefs fan, you don't want to accept. See, here's me. I don't want to accept anything in a win that I wouldn't accept in a loss. And that's where my consistency as a reporter and everything else stays consistent because, yeah, I'm gonna give you hell when you lose. And obviously you're not losing too often, but we gave him crap about the Raiders game. But I'm not also gonna accept the same stuff in a loss that you're doing in the win. And if Andy Reid and company, that's the bad thing about not being able to travel, go out covering, be in the locker room, stuff like that, because you can't, you can only get a question or two in on these post-game Zooms and stuff like that, or during the week, to where normally you'd have a lot more opportunity, personal one-on-ones and stuff like that. Because again, I'm going to ask Eric Bieniemy if I get a chance to this week about the play call and about the fact that you have seen on film that Clyde is not a bruising running back where he can go. He's just too small. He's just physically too small. Why not, when you got to get that first down, if you know you're going to run the ball, why not just put Le'Veon in there? Let him get. I mean, we saw what he could do, and we know what he can do.
I think, to me, this is an offensive line issue. This is not a running back issue. To me, I'm just telling you right now, I don't think whether it's Le'Veon, I don't think whether it's Clyde, I don't think if you had Derrick Henry, it's going to make that much of a difference. This offensive line is not built to get those short yardage situations. It's just not.
Defensively, are these players living up to their contract? I know we've kind of had this
Some
a little
guys,
bit.
L'Jarius Sneed. I mean,
he's not getting paid a whole
that
lot
rookie.
either.
By the way, if you want to look at maybe the best rookie cornerback in football this year, it's not the Lions guy. It's not any of the Ohio State guys. It may be L'Jarius Sneed. L'Jarius Sneed, without that collarbone injury, because he missed those games, you're probably looking at him as the best rookie cornerback so far. He has been unbelievable.
Now, of course, the Bucs quarterback Tom Brady. Brady and Mahomes are 2-2 now against each other. Brady did shake his hand after the game yesterday in a losing effort. He passed for 345 yards, 3 touchdowns. I believe 2, if not all 3, went to Mike Evans. I know Mike Evans.
2 went to Mike Evans, 1 to Ronald Jones.
Yeah, Ronald Jones.
The one where Dan Sorensen did a little hokey doke. He jumped over.
Again, you get a scenario where, granted, Tampa Bay did not get a chance to get the ball back. They ran, and look, I don't understand the timeouts that they were calling late in that fourth quarter. They called both timeouts before the before 4:45, and next thing you know, they don't have any, and the Chiefs were able to run the clock out. That's a coaching issue. So
Bruce Arians does weird stuff. He looks like a mad scientist on the sideline.
Yeah, and so it is what it is. But again, Chiefs never should have been in that scenario where it comes down to 27-21, where you have to get a first down to clinch the game.
If you go for 462 yards and you win by just through the air, and you win by 3, and you have to actually get a first down and not just take kneels, you have to actually get a first down, something's wrong.
Yeah, and here's the biggest part. They last scored midway through the third quarter.
Yeah.
Again, they got 27 points. They got that third touchdown to Tyreek in the third quarter. That means you went scoreless, and you had opportunities where you had 2 interceptions, and you couldn't do anything with it.
You had 3 straight punts. Tommy Townsend did not look good punting the ball, by the way, either. I mean, and again, I don't want to just harp on all the negatives of Kansas City, because they did do some great things. Mahomes.
Well, I do want to get to that Mahomes,
Travis Kelce,
but Tyreek Hill. I definitely want to talk about Tyreek Hill. So I don't want to all negative is not. But again, I got to point out stuff that, again, I'm not going to accept in a loss. I'm not going to accept him to win. But Tyreek Hill, 13, a personal record, 13 catches, 269 receiving yards. This is the second time he's gone over 200 yards receiving. The first time was, of course, the shootout against the Rams, where I was there. Steve and I were there in Los Angeles for that game. Wanted to get your thoughts on that. 203 yards. Look, I actually thought for the first time that, okay, Kansas City is finally going to put their foot on somebody's throat and continue to push the ball in there. Now, granted, Tampa Bay made some adjustments, but what I tell people, okay, yeah, they get paid, but if Tampa Bay's going to make adjustments, you make adjustments to their adjustments.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. So, obviously, you want to double. So, again, you get everybody else involved. Sammy Watkins played extremely well in his return to the starting lineup for Kansas City. So, shout out to him. I'm glad I think he had 4 catches, 68 yards, played well. McCole Hardman, again, if he picks up that
one drop, and drops happen. It's just tough because but
and with his wide open. Speed, it's different if he wasn't wide open.
And if it was D-Rob, we may not be saying that's a touchdown. But with McCole, with Tyreek Hill, it's a touchdown. But for the most part, the receivers looked extremely good. Tyreek Hill was so good. I've never seen grown men, professional athletes, look astonished, just straight up disbelief on the sideline. I mean, those cornerbacks were like, Coach, what the hell are we supposed to do? You got us one-on-one with Tyreek Hill. We're getting just absolutely torched.
I've never, in all my day, have seen fear in a cornerback that we saw yesterday when the camera kept focusing on. And not only that, it literally made you feel sorry for the player because it's like, I'm sitting there thinking, well, I'm sitting there watching the game and I'm thinking to myself, did he do something wrong? Like a Malcolm Butler, getting punished by not playing the Super Bowl. Did he do something wrong where they're like, this first quarter, we're going to put you on an island with Tyreek and you better show up or ship out? I mean, I don't know. I felt so bad that I'm like, what did this man do to deserve this type of punishment?
Yeah, and the play calls to start off were there was a couple of great play calls to Tyreek Hill. The first play of the game, that little almost wheel route they ran was phenomenal play calling. That straight up in and out streak that he had for the touchdown. It was one of those things where it's like, you said it great. I've never seen cornerbacks, a professional athlete, look almost scared. They're like, Coach, I can't do anything. I physically cannot guard this man. I need help.
He's their fastest defender.
And the thing with this is, because Tyreek Hill was able to do this, it opened up everything underneath for Travis Kelce, for Sammy Watkins, for D-Rob. I think it was why McCole Hardman was so wide open. I mean, Tyreek Hill doing this is such a weapon. And the fact he was able to not just burn by guys, he had that one where he went up and got the ball in between two dudes, gets rocked, still comes down with the football.
Want to ask you your overall grades, offense, defense, special teams, and coaching.
Oh, that's tough. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, Travis, the wide receiving group, Patrick Mahomes, A+, offensive line, D. So I guess as a whole, I'm going B+. I'm going B+ as an offense as a whole. Defense, probably B+ as well. I don't think the defense was really to blame in this situation. They played really good for most of the ball game. Tershawn Wharton played great. Bashad Breeland played extremely well. L'Jarius Sneed played good. Travarius Ward was okay. Anthony Hitchens was great. But again, the big name guys, Tyron had an interception, but besides that, wasn't great. Chris Jones.
Hell, that was a gift from being bounced off of Dan Schwartz's helmet.
I mean, Chris Jones, Frank Clark. I mean,
here's the thing. Chris Jones, when your biggest highlight is getting in the face of Tom Brady, that's not saying a whole lot. And I know he works for our competition, but look, the fact that you want to call out my guy C-Dot last week.
It was soft. That was a soft, in my opinion, soft.
No. I'm saying no. But his point was, you're getting into it with your teammate on the sideline. Bring that same energy to the field and get to get to Derek Carr.
Yeah,
I need that same transfer, that same energy from the sideline. Again, that was my thing yesterday. I posted, hey, maybe you need to get this dude fired up again. Like, you getting in Brady's face, because hold on, now I think about it, I wish, I'm sitting there wishing to myself, like, okay, bro, let me see what you look like in the stat sheet, and bam, 0, 0, 0, 0, 2 quarterback hits. So you don't register unless you hitting the quarterback twice, but no tackles, no sacks. But you want to get in Brady's face talking that smack. I mean, come on, man. Again,
I'm with you. No, I think it was a little soft when it's a competition, but I think it's soft when he went after C-Dot. I was like, dude, you played a bad game. like own it. Like, if we said something wrong in the air, we own it. We're like, yeah, my bad.
Right.
We messed up. Chris Jones, he had a bad game, 2 bad games in a row, and then Frank Clark is on this string of he's had about 1 good game to break up the what?
That's funny, man. Frank Clark wants me to work on his fire stick, and I'm like, I don't know, bro, because the way you behaving, the way you playing on the field, I don't know if I can do it. Again, for me, grade wise, I would get Patrick.
Yeah, I
give it A. Can't give it A plus because there were passes. You should, the McCole Harmon, you should have got that. Should have scored more touchdowns.
A plus, come on.
No.
That's coaching. To me, that's some coaching.
But I still give you A because there were some throws that, if not for a penalty, you have another interception. So there were some plays that were shaky. That again, I give you an A. I mean, I can say A minus, but I'll give you an A. I just can't do A plus. A plus is perfection. Tyreek Hill, I give an A plus. He had a perfect.
Yeah, he did.
And Sammy Watkins in his return, I give him A plus as well because he did. And Travis Kelce, I give him A. Travis, that too cute by half stuff you do for. I'm not with it. Seriously,
the
man.
The throw,
not,
you mean?
Whatever that was supposed. Yeah.
The throw. He probably should have ran it in. There was a cornerback there. Probably could have trucked him.
You could have done that. You could have faked him out. You could have faked it and then thrown it. So yeah, I give you a defense. I'm gonna give you a B minus. And look, offensive line. Yeah, that's a D. I can't accept penalties like that. Defense, B minus. I give you B minus because of the personal fouls and again, your star players not showing up to play. Again, I'm looking at the stat sheet. Frank Clark had one tackle. Chris Jones, 0. And Tyrann Mathieu, he had 5 tackles and an interception, but the interception was just, it was a gift from God.
If it was not for the unsung guys, the Legarius, the Bashad Breelands, the Chavariuses, the Anthony Hitchens, the Tershawn Whartons, this defense would have been terrible.
Now, Javarius Ward, you gave him 2 touchdowns. I mean,
he did.
It's Mike Evans. Now, you had some big plays too. I'll give you that. Yeah. So I'll give you a C, but you still gave up 14 points. Coaching, man, I get it. Ooh, I almost said the S word. I give you a C because really, I want to give you a D, if not flunky, but the fact that you won, I can't overlook that. But 27-24, that's inexcusable, especially when you're up 17-0, when you should have been up 28-0 with the opportunities and the points that you leave on the board. So we talk about all that more. We talk about, MVP, all this stuff, but take a quick time out. We do have some bills to pay. You're listening to Darren and Sterling right here on ESPN Kansas City.
Hi, I'm Jordan, president of Digital Lagoon, a web and design agency. This year, I'm proud to be celebrating 25 years in business. Here at Digital Lagoon, we can provide you with a strategic digital marketing strategy. With the implementation of social media, SEO, and online advertising, these programs are proven to improve your website traffic. Let us collaborate with you to structure a plan and cut through the digital noise. Check us out at lagoon.com. That's lagoon.com.
In these trying times, Kansas City Credit Union knows how important cash flow is in your household. With rates near all-time lows, now's the time to take action. Free up some cash by lowering your monthly car loan payment when you refinance your auto loan with Kansas City Credit Union. And as a bonus, Kansas City Credit Union will delay your payments for 90 days. Visit kansascitycreditunion.com/810sports for more information. Kansas City Credit Union, your path to financial freedom.
SelectQuote is hiring advisors in Kansas City. I'm Joel Clark, a SelectQuote advisor for the last 17 years. We have great training compensation, no cold calling, you can work from home, and it's a fun environment. Some of our Select Quote top earners have had no sales experience and have made over $200,000 annually. Openings are limited and are growing fast. So give us a call at 1-833-HIRING-1. That is 1-833-447-4641. Or check us out online at selectquotecareer.com.
A KC tradition since 1957, Hereford House is a locally owned steakhouse that has served generations of Kansas Cityans. Hereford House exclusively serves certified Hereford beef, which has been proven to be naturally more tender and flavorful than other brands. All their steaks are aged 21 days, hand-cut daily, and grilled over an open charcoal flame. This process provides a wonderful aroma and delicious flavor that cannot be duplicated by any other cooking method. Hereford House, Leawood, Independence, Shawnee, and Zona Rosa.
Boulevard believes in easy indulgence. That's why they decided to put Tank 7 in cans. Their distinctly American twist on a classic Belgian-style farmhouse ale takes its name from the notoriously unpredictable fermenter where the signature beer's perfect combination of ingredients first came to life. You could call it fate. Their brewers call it Tank 7. Grab a 4-pack and treat yourself to a Tank 7 today. You deserve it. Boulevard Brewing Company, Kansas City, Missouri.
You can keep your grass green and lush all year long with a new sprinkler system from Summit Lawn and Landscape. Call Summit Lawn and Landscape today at 816-966-9434 to design a water-efficient system for your home and never drag a hose again. 816-966-9434. Summit Lawn and Landscape provides complete lawn maintenance, including mowing, fertilization, and landscape installation, maintenance, and design. Call 816-966-9434 or go to summitlawn.com.
I'm not sure of what I see. You don't come for me. Are you telling me this is a sign?
Welcome back to Darren and Sterling here on ESPN Kansas City, 94.5 FM, 1510 AM. Sterling, so glad you're back in studio. Sterling, looking at the slate of Sunday games that we had yesterday, what was there a big takeaway that you took from any of the games yesterday? Any thoughts? When I look at the standings right now, if the playoffs were to start today, I think the biggest thing that I noticed is teams that were in maybe just a week or two ago are now out, including, for me, the fraudulent Las Vegas Raiders. And to me, that was, I think, the biggest surprise, seeing how they got mollywopped by the Atlanta Falcons 43-6. Again, the over-under for that game was, I believe, 52. And I was thinking, okay, at the last week, the Falcons only scored 9 points. I know the Raiders scored 31. I'm like, there's no way these teams are going to get to 52, which they almost did. But your thoughts on that, on the games yesterday, was there anything that you took away from it?
Yeah, obviously the Atlanta Raiders game was probably the biggest takeaway. Atlanta's one of those teams I don't think anyone wants to face because, yes, they're not good. I think everyone understands that the record's not very good, but they have a very good offense. When you have, you have
their
Matt
defense
Ryan,
is good too.
No, their defense is abysmal. They got lucky. They're ranked like 31st.
They forced a lot of turnovers yesterday.
Again, you can have a good game without being a good defense.
That's all you need.
Matt Ryan, and then you have the receivers. That offense is good. And then my other biggest takeaway was Minnesota, where Kirk Cousins does his thing again, where he draws you back in. Kirk Cousins draws you back in, where he goes, I'm going to be terrible for a couple games. And all of a sudden he goes, all right, I'll go make some of these unbelievable throws. I'll have an amazing game. Well, I'll keep you in the playoff hunt. I think the Vikings may have been another surprising game to an extent to me. And then the one that really, I don't want to say frustrates me, but it was
Bucs.
No, the Broncos game. The Broncos game against the Saints, because I do feel, again, unbiased because Chiefs guy, obviously, but I think the Broncos kind of got screwed.
Well, you know what? I know the guy the rookie that they had playing quarterback off the practice squad, he felt that the NFL wanted to teach them a lesson. Steve and I kind of agree. Steve and I kind of talked about this on our pregame show yesterday, where at the end of the day, these are all grown men. And again, you, as a member of the Players Association, as a member of the union, agreed to the terms with the NFL on what you all would do to try to make sure that the season goes the way it's supposed to. Now, look, they have protocols in place. Drew Lock and them said that, hey, we fell. We did it. And so you have to take onus. And
But what happened to the Titans? Game got pushed back. What happened with the Ravens? Games getting pushed back to Tuesday. Why are the Broncos the only one?
The reason why, according to Schefter and a few others, was that theirs was contained versus it being an outbreak in Baltimore.
So because they did a better job, they got screwed more? Like, no, I get it.
I don't work for the league just yet. I'm
not yelling at you.
But what I'm saying is that's the explanation that was given. And again, look, I didn't realize, and I told you before, I'm all for having a game tonight, a game tomorrow. I'm all for it. Trust me. I think I have a problem right now is there's no game on Thursday. So I don't even know where my show is going to end up at because on Sports Radio 810 because I was supposed to come on either after the Thursday night game or now after the KU game. But now, in place of Thursday night football, they're moving sport in Kansas City from Wednesday night to Thursday night. So I don't even know where we're going to be airing that game at on this stage because we got both KU games, men and women, going on both stations. So I don't know what's going on. so I mean, I don't even know if I'm going to have a show Thursday night.
Just to me, I felt like the Broncos got unfairly treated for. Yes, the quarterbacks should have taken better precautions, but what it sounded like was they all tested negative. It sounded like they contained it only in that quarterback room.
So you think it was some false positives that may have taken place?
No, it was one positive. It was Jeff Driscoll. Everyone else tested negative.
But because of the close contact. But the flip side is you also have to do X amount of days as well where you have to test negative.
I get that, but like you couldn't move the game, so they didn't have to do an undrafted wide receiver play quarterback. I mean, again, my pick was Chiefs Saints Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and it was an easy game for the Saints, and all the jokes going around. Well, the Saints didn't play a quarterback either with Taysom Hill, but the end of the day is Taysom Hill is an option for the Saints. They wanted to use him. The Broncos did not want to use an undrafted wide receiver at quarterback.
I got to ask you this. Steve and I mentioned. Well, Steve was thinking that if you're Tampa Bay, you feel like this is an unfair advantage for the Saints. Well, because he's like, because I mean. They could easily, Denver could have forfeited. They didn't. But,
well, if you're the Bucs, beat the Saints. You lose to them twice.
See,
that's what matters.
I rubbed off on you. That's exactly what I told Steve.
Exactly.
Like, hell, you should have just beat them, and then you ain't got to worry about it.
Exactly. If that's what you're complaining about, just beat them.
Obviously, though, bigger names, more people that's affected. Which, again, I'm actually shocked that the game is still going on.
Tonight?
No, tomorrow night.
Oh, tomorrow night, yes.
Because, again, we talk about it. It's affected 20 members of the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I can't remember the number of players versus staff, but obviously Lamar Jackson.
Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews. And
the whole running back, every single running back except for Gus Edwards, I believe.
Yeah, so when you look at it like that, again, you take it away from Thanksgiving, you move it to Sunday, and then from Sunday – I don't know if it was ever going to Monday, but I know from Sunday to Tuesday night. And there's still, the people are still testing positive in Baltimore as is.
And the Steelers too. James Conner,
yeah, and the running backs coach. And from what we know, last week the NFL said that, teams their facilities were going to be shut down Monday and Tuesday. Now, obviously, because you're having the game tonight and tomorrow, those teams get a little bit of an exception. I know with the Chiefs, we're supposed to have Andy Reid today. We won't have him till Wednesday because of the NFL mandating that facilities be shut down. So, there's a lot of moving parts with all this. But again, for me, the players, you're grown. Yeah, wear a mask. Yeah, I say it all the time.
Yeah,
wear a mask. I don't even see it being uncomfortable because literally I'm at the casino yesterday, and even when I got home, I'm still just walking around the house with my mask on just because I'm so used to wearing a mask.
I'll tell you this. It's nice when it's cold outside.
and look, and shout out to Andy Reid because he actually finally had on a mask yesterday on the sidelines versus.
But I miss the fogged up face shield. I'm not going to lie.
We got that from Bruce Arians, though.
Yeah, Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians to me does not even look like a head coach. He looks like a mad scientist mixed in with like a librarian somewhere in there.
I think his problem was he didn't have a Kangol. I don't remember if he had a Kangol on with his.
He looks kind of like a hipster with like the grayish beard, the glasses. He looks like he would really be into IPAs.
The other takeaway that I'll say from Sunday's game is, as much as you hate it, the running game is still alive and well in Nashville.
I wouldn't say alive and well. I would say
Derrick
was alive
Henry
and well
is the
that
cause.
game.
Well, it's been alive a few of these games. For the Tennessee Titans would not be 8-3 without Derrick Henry.
They wouldn't be 8-3 without Ryan Tannehill either. Can you agree with that? You throw Marcus Mariota back there, what's going to happen? Remember that? We've seen that experiment play out, and we've seen.
You put Derek Carr there, they're 8-3.
Oh, hell no! You think you put Derek Carr, and in Ryan Tannehill's place, and that's an 8-3 team.
With Derrick Henry back there, damn Skippy. Yep, damn Skippy.
Stay off the weed. What are you, Josh Gordon over here? Because ain't no chance.
I have not started just yet until it gets legal. Looking at it though, again, Tennessee. That was a game, and I think we talked about it a little bit. That was a game that they had to win, again, because the Colts had beat them on their field a few Thursday nights ago when they faced on Thursday Night Football, and so for them to be able to get that win over there, they're in the driver's seat. They're 8-3. I haven't looked at the schedule to see what they look like the rest of the way, but the teams that they lost to Indianapolis, they've lost to Pittsburgh. So, I mean, they've lost to playoff-bound teams.
What do you think of the Colts? Because to me, the Colts are a team that's very tough to judge.
You got Phillip Rivers there. I mean, at the end of the day, for me, Phillip Rivers is going to be Phillip Rivers. And I think even in the playoffs, if you had any other, if you had Jacoby Brissett, no, not Jacoby, but the backup. What's the backup's name? Was it Jacoby
Brissett? Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. If he was your starter, because he was before he got there, if you had him behind this offensive line, the way that they're playing, and now they were also without a couple of defensive starters as well. So that, again, a lot of teams are facing this stuff, minus the Chiefs at the moment. A lot of these teams are facing injuries and players who are on the COVID-19. So I get it. But to me, I would rather trust Jacoby back there.
No chance.
Well, here's the thing. You know that you'll get Phillip Rivers to take chances, and he'll make those mistakes.
But we saw it last year.
No. I'm not judging by last year. I'm judging by what we're seeing because, again, their offensive line is much better. Again, Phillip Rivers has been very well protected, but Phillip Rivers will still make those mistakes for you.
They were last year. The thing I will say is Phillip Rivers has been better than most people expected this year, and he's better than Jacoby Brissett. I'm not going to entertain that notion that Brissett and Phillip Rivers are equal.
Nobody said they were equal. I'm talking, but you're asking about this year's Indianapolis Colts. That's what I'm saying. This year, the way that the defense has played, again,
great.
That they've played, the offensive line been able to protect, and they've been able to do some things. I'm saying, I believe this year behind this type of, you got to remember when they brought in Phillip, they were putting. Chris Ballard, who was in Kansas City, it was putting more and more pieces in place for him. So what I'm saying is this year's team, the way that they've played, I believe that Jacoby Brissett, I'm not saying they'd be 7-4, but I'm saying, but if they made it to the playoffs, I would trust Jacoby Brissett more than I would Phillip Rivers, because again, Phillip Rivers has a history in the playoffs that he's going to make a big mistake at the very end of the game, especially if it's a close game. I'd rather take my chance with an unknown in Jacoby. Just because of that whole Bill Belichick stuff, I would rather. No, well, you asked me my opinion.
It's a bad one.
Nah, I don't think so. But I would rather trust. I trust Jacoby Brissett instead of Phillip Rivers, because at the end of the day, we both believe Phillip Rivers is going to make a mistake in the end, or do we not in the playoffs?
Typically, but at the end of the day is, I'm going to roll with the guy that got me there. I'm not going to all of a sudden get to the playoffs and say, all right, Phillip, thanks, pal. Let me throw in Jacoby.
This is that same Phillip Rivers who the last couple of years, Phillip Rivers that we saw in Mexico City, that I saw in Mexico City, 4 interceptions against the Chiefs. Now trying to go toe for toe. I'm telling you, this is the guy that you're trying to go with. I'm saying this is Phillip Rivers. He has a body of work that tells you when the playoffs and when the chips are down, he is going to do something that's going to make you scratch your head and be like, why the hell did you do that?
He's still better than Brissett. And what I'll say is, after looking at what the Chargers have done this year with Justin Herbert, I'm more looking at, oh my gosh, Anthony Lynn did him no favors. Anthony Lynn, by the way, did you see the end of that game?
Yes, I did.
You're down 10.
Okay,
You're running the football, and then
first of all, I'm trying to avoid even talking about it because I don't like talking about my people like that because I know where it's going to go because he's going to lose his job.
What do you mean? He deserves to lose his job.
I didn't say he didn't deserve it. I just said I don't like. Look, let me talk about Matt Patricia versus Anthony Lynn. But yes, no. Look, I'm sitting thinking like, why are you talking to the referees about your timeout? I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, the play call that you get down there in the end zone, and you're trying to run the ball
down 10. What
38 seconds left?
You know what you should do?
Come on,
to be honest, you should kick a field goal and then try for the onside kick so you at least give yourself a chance.
Something.
And then the end of the game, you snap it with 3 seconds left. You run a quarterback sneak with your rookie quarterback. And not only this, your offensive line thinks it's a pass play. Your offensive line drops back into pass protection while Justin Herbert gets obliterated by the entire defensive line. I mean, to be honest with you, it's to the point where the Chargers are a mess right now. They need a complete overhaul, it looks like, because you got a medical doctor, injuring one of your quarterbacks. Yeah. You got Anthony Lynn trying to injure another, it looks like, by doing offensive. It's been a dumpster fire for a little bit. They've lost close games for how many years now? 10 years?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's all Anthony Lynn's fault, but something has to be done when you consistently lose close ball games. He's got to be gone.
No, I'm with you.
Although Adam Gase should have been gone about 3 years ago. He should have been hired, but
Matt Patricia either. But that's
fair.
neither here nor there.
No, but hey, they fired him. They did their work down there. They fired Quinn down in Atlanta. Adam Gase is probably going to be gone. Anthony Lynn's about to be gone. I mean, there's going to be a lot of head coach openings for Eric Bieniemy.
All I know is this: Matt Nagy should also be gone, and hopefully Andy Reid does not bring him back to Kansas City. But let's take a quick break. We'll finish out the show. Let's take a look at tonight's game against the Seattle Seahawks against Sterling's Philadelphia Eagles here on Darren and Sterling on ESPN Kansas City.
Hi, I'm Jordan, president of Digital Lagoon, a web and design agency. This year, I'm proud to be celebrating 25 years in business. Here at Digital Lagoon, we can provide you with a strategic digital marketing strategy. With the implementation of social media, SEO, and online advertising, these programs are proven to improve your website traffic. Let us collaborate with you to structure a plan and cut through the digital noise. Check us out at lagoon.com. That's lagoon.com.
Hey, Kansas City, Stephen St. John here from my friends at K&L Precision Painting. I've been working on a project with Matt from K&L Precision Painting, and I couldn't be happier with the process. They're a locally owned interior and exterior painting company. You can call or text K&L Precision Painting at 913-938-4420. That's 913-938-4420. Or visit them online at klpaintingkc.com.
K&L Precision Painting looks so good you'll be fainting.
In these trying times, Kansas City Credit Union knows how important cash flow is in your household. With rates near all-time lows, now's the time to take action. Free up some cash by lowering your monthly car loan payment when you refinance your auto loan with Kansas City Credit Union. And as a bonus, Kansas City Credit Union will delay your payments for 90 days. Visit kansascitycreditunion.com/810sports for more information. Kansas City Credit Union, your path to financial freedom.
Did you know on average, people only review their insurance plans once every 4 years? Hi, this is Corey Schnabel, owner of KC Insurance Group. Call KC Insurance Group today at 913-396-6320 for a no-obligation review of your current policy. If your current policy is the best fit for you, we'll tell you. If not, we'll save you some money with a tailored proposal from one of the best carriers in Kansas City. It's truly a win-win. KC Insurance Group voted 2019's best agency by Pitch Magazine. 913-396-6320 or visit us online at kcinsured.com.
A KC tradition since 1957, Hereford House is a locally owned steakhouse that has served generations of Kansas Cityans. Hereford House exclusively serves certified Hereford beef, which has been proven to be naturally more tender and flavorful than other brands. All their steaks are aged 21 days, hand-cut daily, and grilled over an open charcoal flame. This process provides a wonderful aroma and delicious flavor that cannot be duplicated by any other cooking method. Hereford House, Leawood, Independence, Shawnee, and Zona Rosa.
You can keep your grass green and lush all year long with a new sprinkler system from Summit Lawn and Landscape. Call Summit Lawn and Landscape today at 816-966-9434 to design a water-efficient system for your home and never drag a hose again. 816-966-9434. Summit Lawn and Landscape provides complete lawn maintenance, including mowing, fertilization, and landscape installation, maintenance, and design. Call 816-966-9434 or go to summitlawn.com.
Abracadabra, form of a bedroom.
Uncle Charlie makes his anticipated return back to the show here on Darren and Sterling on ESPN Kansas City, 94.5 FM, 1510 AM. Tonight, of course, you can hear the game over on our sister station, Sports Radio 810 WHB. Monday Night Football, Seattle Seahawks, Philly Eagles. Sterling, Seattle 7-3. Probably got the worst defense next to Tampa Bay all of a sudden now. How's this game unfolding tonight? Who you got?
I got the Seahawks. Russell Wilson has been a little bit on the downturn recently, but they're still too good. The Eagles are a bad team. Carson Wentz, I don't know what happened to him, but he's bad now. I mean, he's bad.
Does he get replaced tonight?
No, I don't think so. They're still too close. I mean, as bad as they are.
Well, if they win, yeah.
They're literally in the playoff hunt. And do you go with the unknown? Do you stick with him? What you've seen him perform to an MVP caliber at one point. I mean, it's a tough situation to be in. I mean, who would have thought that? I think, is it the Giants, after their win, is now leading the NFC East?
Yep.
I mean, who would have thought that?
Well, I thought they wouldn't. Yes. You know what? I will say this. Sometimes I wonder how Vegas bettors place these lines and do all what they do. Now, granted, they're obviously not trying to do it, or they're not in the business to try to help people make money. Obviously, that's where all those great 8 wonders of the world with those casinos are built out there. But I got to tell you, the fact that they were, kind of over under with the spots as it relates to the games and the totals and stuff like that is amazing to me at times. I will say this, looking at this game, the Seahawks, again, they have a pretty bad defense, but again, just like I thought that the Raiders would knock off Atlanta yesterday. I mean, if you just go off of just what you've seen recently.
We both did.
Yeah, and then, I mean, I can see a scenario where Philly wins tonight. I mean, that's just because the Seahawks' pass defense is just that bad where, Carson Wentz could actually throw some passes, but he doesn't have a lot.
Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is still out.
I know, but, like last year, he did more with less. Now he leads the league in turnovers. I think at least with 14 interceptions. I think Brady is not too far behind him. If he's not right behind, I think Brady has 11 or whatever. So, but Russell Wilson, he has, and I told you and Steve this, he has dropped out of the MVP conversation. You really don't hear his name no more than that's what I said. Russell, when the season starts, is always he hasn't gotten a vote. He's gonna he's going to get a chance to win the MVP. Then when they start losing games, you kind of see how when he loses games by having a lot of turnovers. He's got 10 interceptions. He has a league lead. Well, I think he's behind Patrick. Well, he's tied with Patrick, but I think Aaron Rodgers leads the league in touchdowns right now with 33. Patrick has 30. I know Russell has 30 coming into tonight's ball game.
Just to me, and I'm with you, I think Patrick, after yesterday, is far and away the front runner for MVP. I don't even think it's particularly close.
If McCall Hardman catches that and runs it, then obviously he would have been close and would have broken the record because that was right after halftime. So
that was like a 70-yard. It would have been about 70.
90. No, it was 90.
Was it 90? Okay,
it was 90 yards. And so he gets that. He probably passed for 600 yards yesterday. He gets that. There's just look, outside of people like Skip Bates who are just hating this to be hating, Patrick has. As long as they continue to win, and I hate in the manner in which they won this game yesterday, but as long as they continue to do what they do methodically, I think Patrick, because Patrick has to average at least a little bit over 300 yards the next 5 games to get 5,000 passing yards. I don't see him getting 4 touchdowns a game the next 4 games, but he could do. I mean, he could do. I mean, he can't do it. We saw that they could do it. They just don't do it.
If anyone could, it's him. But I want to ask something before we go out. We got a few minutes left. I posted this on Twitter. Where do you put Tyreek Hill in wide receiver rankings? You have him in the top 3, top 5, top 10?
I have him top 3. I don't want to be prisoner of the moment.
3.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's your top 3?
Devontae Adams, and there's another wide receiver that I'm not. Devontae Adams. It's
You got D-Hop, Julio.
Yeah, D-Hop. That's who it was. Yeah.
I got him 5th. He's top. D-Hop number 1 for me. I got D-Hop number 1. I got Devontae Adams, Michael Thomas, and then Tyreek. I think top 5.
Julio, Michael Thomas been too injured this season.
Just this season. I'm not taking just this. I mean,
I thought we were talking about just this season.
It is, but you also got to take you can't just take the injury part of it. To me, when you're saying
you have to because you can't play if you're not on the field.
Because if you're saying that,
Michael Thomas has only played 3-4 games this season.
I get that, but if you're saying that, take a guy who's been injured all year. You can't say, Alex Okafor would be better than so-and-so because he's played more games. I'm not going to go ahead and do that. I'm not even saying best fit for the team. I'm saying best overall wide receiver. Tyreek's top 5. My main point I'm making is he's top 5, I think, pretty easily, and no one is in national media is calling for Tyreek Hill being top 5. They still consider him a speedster. They keep saying he's a very fast guy. They're not taking,
then I question their credentials.
I agree, though, but at some point we need to start talking about Tyreek Hill as this top-end wide receiver and not just a special, fast gadget guy.
Well, first of all, I've always felt that he is a top 5 legitimate number 1 receiver, if not top 3, as I said. And I say that to say that from his rookie season when he was a returner going on to afterwards, he dedicated himself to become a wide receiver that knew the route tree and things like that. So that's for another discussion. I want to thank everyone for tuning in today. Join us on the radio, social media for Darren and Sterling. You can tune in this evening at 6:30 with the Red Hour with myself, Steve Walls, Sean Tyler, and DJ Q. We'll, of course, talk more about this Chiefs game. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be joined by Todd Lebo here on ESPN Kansas City, 94.5 FM, 1510 a.m. Please wear a mask and stay safe and social distance.